Welcome to your second lesson about Chaucer. Let's have a look at your keywords. Your first keyword is feudal. Okay, feudal is a social and political system in which landowners provide land to their tenants in exchange for their loyalty and service. You might remember the feudal pyramid, the feudal pyramid of power. Okay, let's see if you can remember anything from that. So stop the video now and jot yourself down some things that you might recall from the feudal system from Arthurian legends. So stop the video now then, please. Okay, your second keyword is profession. Let's have a look at the meaning of that. Profession, it's a paid occupation, especially one that involves prolonged training and a formal qualification. So it's a job, isn't it? A proper job that you've trained for. So thinking back, what professions do you think might be in the nobility? So what know people with the nobility, what sort of jobs or professions might they have had? So stop your video now, please, and jot yourself down some answers. If you want to aim higher, see if you can answer this question and explain your reasons. Do you think we still have a feudal system in our culture today? So stop the video now, please. Let's have a look at your knowledge goal for today. So your knowledge goal is to be able to explain the context behind the Canterbury Tales, and your steps to success are to have a more detailed information about life in the Middle Ages, because it was very different to how it is today. How a person's status, so a status is their rank or position in society, so how a person's status was linked to their profession. And how is this reflected in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales? Okay, so there is a clip here that you will need to watch. I haven't actually included this one. It's about the Bayeux Tapestry. You will need to click on it and write down the answers to the following questions. So what is it and what did you learn? Okay, and you've got a challenge task there as well. So how is this a form of storytelling, and why would it be made to show the events of the battle? So stop the video and watch the clip, please. Okay, life in medieval Britain. In the Middle Ages, people were divided into groups based on what skills they had. Skills such as a carpenter, a cook, a doctor, a friar, a religious minister, a knight, a lawyer, a monk, a nun, a priest, a soldier, and a sailor. Now, life in medieval Britain. Many nobles lived in castles, and the Great Hall was the centre of a castle, and the walls were decorated with tapestries. Tapestries are like they're material wall hangings that would have depicted something about the life then. Everyone except the Lord sat on benches, and at night the servants slept on the floor. At the top of the castle, the lady would have a day room for herself and her maids in waiting. A maid in waiting was a companion to the lady, and she would be there for public engagements or even in private to be like a friend. She would also entertain her with music and help her to dress and to bathe as well. So she was there for a beck and call to do whatever she chose for her to want to do for her. So this room had the largest windows and the best views, and after 1200, castles had panes of glass in the windows. Bit of a luxury because it would have been quite drafty prior to that. Now you've got a video here. I would like you to watch this, please, before moving on. Then I'd like you to watch this one. So to give you some more background information, take notes if you need to as well. and then finally another one on the medieval castles. So watch the videos and make yourself some notes, because you're going to be asked some questions at the end. Now, life in medieval Britain. The streets of a medieval town were narrow and busy. They were noisy with the town crier, church bells and traders calling out their wares. There were many fast food sellers selling such things as hot sheep's feet and beef ribs. Delicious. Okay, a town crier, you might have seen these. They are often dressed quite elaborately, quite brightly, red coats and a nice hat as well to match. Now, they were quite important, these town criers, because they made public announcements. But these people, they had to be also have a very honest reputation, because these messages they were passing out to lots of people. Medieval shops were workshops open to the street for customers, with the craftsman's house above. Because few people could read, shop signs were a huge model showing the craftsman's trade. So these signs were pictorial so that they could see what they were. Rather than having words, they would have pictures. People of the same trade often worked in the same street. At dusk, a bell rang for curfew. A curfew is when everybody has to shut up their house. They have to be indoors. Okay. The gates to the town would be closed, and a watch would patrol the streets looking for thieves and apprentices who'd stayed out late. Okay, the city gates would control access so that it would sort of act as a safety measure, if you like. Now, again, we got some video clip for you to watch, so I'd like you to watch this and make yourself some notes, please, before moving on. Life in medieval Britain. Even in the later Middle Ages, the medieval peasant's life was hard and the work backbreaking. A peasant's hut was made of wattle and daub with a thatch roof but no windows. So a peasant is like the working classes. Now, this is like strange because our houses aren't made of wattle and daub now, they're made of bricks. Wattle is actually wooden strips, and the daub was made up of wet clay, soil, animal dung and straw, and so the wattle was actually daubed with this concoction, and that's what made the walls of their homes. Actually, I believe it was quite successful as well. In the hut, a third of the area was penned off for the animals, which lived in the hut with the family. A bit stinky. Peasant food was mainly vegetables, plus anything that could be gathered, which was nuts, berries or nettles. Yep, even nettles can be eaten. I believe you can make a soup out of nettles as well. The most difficult time was late spring, when food stores were running out and new food was not yet growing. A poor harvest meant that some of the villagers would starve to death. So obviously the harvest would be autumn time, and that food would have to last people through the winter, because obviously you didn't have food coming in like you've got now in big supermarkets. People had to fend for themselves. So you've got a video here that I would like you to watch and make yourself some notes before moving on, please. The Black Death. Lots of lovely things going on during them. So the Black Death, or the bubonic plague, was a painful disease with black buboes or swellings in the groin and armpit, which lasted up to a week. Now, it was also called the Black Death because actually the skin of victims used to turn black in some places. Quite a nasty, nasty disease. There was some chance of surviving if the buboes burst, but this was rare and most people died. An estimated 30 to 60% of the population of Europe died from the plague, and this is often referred to as the mortality rate. Medieval doctors didn't understand the disease and had limited ability to prevent or cure it. So when the plague came, doctors were powerless to stop it. And if you can see on the picture, this person has got this really strange mask. They actually believed that this disease was caused by bad smells. So therefore they had this long beaked thing. So the length of it would actually give them more room. So hopefully they used to have things like lavender and herbs in there because to try and stop the smell. So it's got further to go before it actually reached the nose and they could smell it, because obviously they didn't understand what was causing this disease back then. And now we know it was actually the fleas on the black rats that were causing it. And when you think about the way the people lived, they lived in very cramped conditions. So the fleas would just spread among them. So there, hence the reason so many people were affected and died. And today, I guess you could say that our new plague is COVID-19. Hopefully, we're going to get rid of all that and we're all going to be safe eventually. And just in case, a little bit of information, you can still get the plague today, but it's very unlikely that you will. Okay, so there's a little song here about the plague song, so have a listen, enjoy it. It will be informative as well. So watch this before you move on, please. Okay, so we got some pictures here. So look at these primary sources from the medieval times and make yourself some notes of what you learn from these images. So stop the video now, please, and jot yourself down some notes. Okay, here's your quiz. So you're going to have to think back, look back at your notes as well. Want to see what you remember, and you can mark these yourself. So name a skill or profession someone might have had in the medieval times. Number 2, who lived in castles? Number 3, what was a peasant's house like? Number 4, true or false? Medieval people had a curfew. Number 5, true or false? Medieval shop signs just had writing on them with no images. Number 6, what was the Black Death? So I want you to stop the video now, please, and no cheating. I'm sure you won't. Here are your answers. So if you can mark those, please, and see how many you got right out of the 6. Your final feedback are your keywords. Feudal. So where did the profession of a knight fit into the feudal system? So if you remember, we spoke about the feudal pyramid of power. Okay, so where did the knight fit into the feudal system? You might have to Google this. Profession. If your profession was a farmer in the Middle Ages, what would your status be? So what would your rank or position in society be?